Hey, Russell here from Adelaide West Physio and Pilates. I was just laughing because someone was saying yesterday, "Oh, I'm glad you don't have a bookcase in your background when you're doing your videos." Well, I kind of do. It's just not quite as obvious as some. Um, so I want to just talk about headaches and migraines. I haven't talked about headaches and migraines for a while, and the role of exercise, because exercise is actually really important. And like so many health conditions, it is it really really counts. And you know, it's a kind of thing that if you could put it into a tablet, everyone would have a dose of it every day. It's just universal, almost regardless of the health condition. Exercise has been shown to be helpful. In fact, I can't think of one where it isn't. Anyway, if anyone can think of a health condition where exercise isn't a good thing, let me know. But with headaches and migraines, I've seen some pretty amazing shifts in people when they have committed to doing a regular program of nothing earth shattering, but just being regular and intentional about the exercise that they're doing. And to, you can see it's a real turning point for some people when they start along that path, which is really heartening, and it makes it easier to really get excited about telling people that it might not be the total solution, but it can be a really important part of a solution for recurrent headaches or recurrent migraines. So how does it help? How does exercise help? I think there's probably going to be a number of different ways in which exercise is going to help out. And it might be, for some people, it might be just the change of position, just purposely getting out of their work position or their position they're in on the couch or whatever it might be, and doing something different. So there's probably a component of that with some people. There's a strengthening component depending on what the exercises that you're doing. May well be a strengthening component for your whole body, which is good. Might be more specifically for your neck, which is often good too. There's going to be changes in terms of, and this is a really interesting one, and it's probably underplayed a bit, but this idea of systemic inflammation, the idea that there are situations where in your body, and exercise is one of the ways of improving this situation, and also diet. But this idea that in your body you can have situations where there's this low level inflammatory state going on, which makes you more sensitive. And it's been shown to be implicated in osteoarthritis, lots of other health conditions too. And headache and migraine, I imagine, would be no different. If there's a low level inflammatory response going on, as a sensitizer, it's going to make you more sensitive. And exercise is one of the really key parts of improving that. There's, of course, there's the psychological benefits of exercise, stress reduction, all of that stuff too. You sleep better. So, it's really multifactorial, and there is evidence to back it up with headache and migraine too. So it's important enough that if someone comes in with a headache or a migraine problem, that it's one of the things that I will ask in that first session is, what exercise do you do? How regular are you with it? And it might not be something that we attack straight up, but it's likely to be part of the game plan, because it might not be an enormous contribution to helping the problem, but it might be an important one. And if you've got some little 5% contributions, they add up. So diet and exercise are two of those, I would argue. And what's the right kind of exercise? Well, I would argue the best exercise is the one that gets done, rather than saying, oh, walking's better than cycling, or cycling's better than swimming, or whatever. I think it really comes down to the individual and what you're going to enjoy. That's probably much more important than anything else. And because you need it to be fairly regular. The guidelines are 40 minutes to see a change in headache behavior, 40 minutes 3 times a week, which is what we should be doing anyway. So there's actually nothing new there. But you want it to be something that isn't a chore, that you're going to enjoy doing, that you can see yourself getting out there and doing regularly. Ideally, something you could do with a friend so that you can keep each other accountable if you need that level of accountability. And some people know they do. But that those figures that I was quoting before was referring to cardiovascular aerobic exercise, so swimming, cycling, walking, those kind of things. So yeah, walking is simple. Don't have to go anywhere. You just walk out your front door. What a great way to start off. It's just a matter of making that commitment and planning it out. Other considerations though with exercise, some people find that they have that doing certain things with their upper body, with their arms, can be a trigger for them. And so that needs to be taken into account. If you're thinking of going to the gym and doing things there, it may be that the overhead stuff needs to be taken into consideration. But rather than avoiding it completely, I would see it as an opportunity, as something to start small with and grade. That classic, gradually introduce an exercise at a very simple level without too much demand, and then gradually building it up. Because if you struggle with upper body work, then it makes sense that you might want to build up some strength, some resilience, some capacity to be able to use your arms. And so that's how you do it. But you wouldn't go straight in there and start doing military press, for example. It'd be something that you would build up to. And that's the kind of thing that you might need to flesh out a little bit with your physio, what the best way of introducing certain exercises are that are related to the onset of your headache or migraine problems. So that's just a bit of a summary. That's where I'm at with exercise. Like I said, I tend to ask everyone that comes in the door about what their regular habits are and whether there's an opportunity there. There's something that we can tweak, we can work on that might help to complement the other treatment that we're doing. Knowing how multifactorial headaches and migraines are, that's a key component, I think, that should be addressed with everyone. So if you are a headache sufferer and you don't exercise regularly, what a great thing to start with. You could just sit down and I'd encourage you to think about it a bit and plan it out, because it would be very easy to go, oh yeah, got to exercise, go for a 40-minute walk, and then while you've got that burst of enthusiasm, you do it, and then you need to have that level of motivation continue on to keep doing it. Whereas if you can work out a bit of a plan, like what's the exercise that excites you, that you could see yourself doing and you could see not being a chore, and when are you going to fit that in through the week, and plan it out, work out where that could possibly be in your week, and think of all the little hurdles that might get in the way of doing it as well, and ways that you can work around those. And that's how you can make it more of a certainty, rather than just relying on that spur of the moment motivation to get out there and make a start. So I hope that helps out. Let me know if you've got any comments, if there's anything that you'd like me to talk about in future about headaches or migraines or exercise for that matter. And ciao. See ya.